what's going on. It's a Saturday. It's like the 20th or something, 20-something. We don't know. It's August 24th, Saturday. That's what's happening. We got 15 minutes to talk. We're out on a walk. Coming to you here in the DrawDownKing. Talking a little bit. See what's happening. If we have any thoughts, obviously this is totally off the cuff, so nothing crazy going on. Nothing crazy at all. In other words, just trying to ramble up some things here to say while I'm walking. It makes it sometimes a little easier, sometimes a little more enjoyable. Should cover about 2 laps here. Not quite a mile, but that's okay for tonight's episode. We don't mind one freaking bit. Got some kind of microphone it's going to start using for this, but it's sort of fizzled. I don't know. I don't think it actually goes in this app. There's something, I don't know, a Bluetooth microphone deal. But that's not required. That's not a must-have or anything of that nature. Coming up on not too many people out tonight. Got a few dogs barking and stuff there in the background. It doesn't disturb anyone's opportunity to focus and pay attention and not focus and pay attention at the same time. State of Zen, right? Net zero. So we're going to try and keep it light when we're coming through here, as to not to disturb anyone. We're going to talk about some market ideas here in a few moments and see where that's going. All right. So I've been doing some videos this weekend on the ES futures, E-mini S&P 500, not the 400, not the NASDAQ or NASCrack. A lot of people like to call that one. But we'll just make an interlude here into the nice world of the S&P. Are you with the S&P or are you against the S&P? Are you long or are you short? That's the important question. We must answer that very soon. As you can see, we're transitioning the program to be more indicative and reflective of different kinds of content and different kinds of vocal and production styles. Trying to keep all those things in consideration, while at the same time bringing to you enjoyable live or previously recorded content. We can do some live. We do have a live podcast thing that we can do. And we'll see exactly what happens there. So, pushing up this hill. And when we get back to the house, we'll be ready to chill. Nice little rhyme there for you. Been walking my legs off here recently, and it's Haven't been doing much in the warmer months. So it's something to consider on your day-to-day, depending on how your activity levels have been going through the warmer months here. Tend to cool down a little bit more in the warmer months and leave the more exercise to the cooler months. Maybe I'll actually start jogging again. We don't know if we'll get into that or not. Got a lot of background noise and vocal dynamics where I'm trying to adapt to the environment and not talk too loud. But there's not too many people out, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. But at last, I think I got about one more lap here. That was only about one lap. And I want to quit. You want to be a quitter to have more time to record? I got more time to record. I can't quit. You got to rock it at least 15 minutes. And really, with 15 minutes, you can do a lot of different things in terms of cardio, whether it's walking, whether it's running, whether it's physical exercise, lifting weights or whatever. 15 minutes, you can, if you don't take a break and you go straight through it, you can get quite a bit of shit done. And really, for most people, that's all that's necessarily needed, sort of moderate activity in a 15-minute session. Possibly, you need to try and do it every day. It's hard to do sometimes, so the problem is you try to get back to where you were without building yourself up. And you get tired, you get exhausted. It's like positioning yourself too large. And you got to build up to it and work for the market conditions as well. So it really just takes some practice and dancing around to see exactly what kind of style and chart reader, chartist, chart conditioner that you're going to be. So it's always good to explore many different platforms and to have an idea of exactly the kind of dynamics you're going to operate within when you get those pieces all dynamically connected or thought. It's things training your brain to do this. It's not a matter of just sitting there doing one thing. It's a matter of, hey, if you're looking at long, hey, wait to hear, and your reflex, you just gun it and you just jump right in, or late or whatever. Sometimes you got to have certain ranges where you're being able to position yourself on both sides of the market, but also being engaged for any kind of breakouts, breakdowns, or any kind of fast movements that would have, regardless of what kind of volatility that you decide to play within the market. So it's always good to keep that in mind. Get your heart rate up, get your thoughts. Think about this stuff when you're out doing stuff. Don't think about what you're doing. Just always be thinking about charts. I mean, you can take a little bit of time off, yeah, but otherwise you're just thinking like the charts are. You're thinking like the candles are thinking, and sometimes that thinking gets a little off cue, so nothing to get too worried about. Getting back up to our next area. They only have about half a lap left, so I shouldn't have too crazy amount of time to go. Try to keep this pretty constant pace for up to 15 minutos. 15 minutos. But we're now looking into things. A lot of things change and happen over the warmer summer months right here. And we got to keep our eyes open for any of opportunities that may arise based on normal conditions, earnings, unexpected events, economic events, and things of that nature. So definitely your S&P is still the big one. That's where most everyone should be, regardless of what you think or what your friends know or what somebody else says. You need to always be working on the E-mini S&P. Be just back here just a minute. All right, so we're back to joining and talking about the E-mini. And too many people get sidetracked and they go straight into NASDAQ, or they don't realize that NASDAQ doesn't suit their trading style. Not everybody can trade NASDAQ. It takes a certain kind of thought and reaction process. So you got to really keep that in mind. But your E-mini S&P is going to have more stability, less wick action, less wacky moves, especially by some of those technology giants. Although even in those situations, the E-mini may foreclude or preclude that move off of some of the major indicator levels, while getting some slight exaggerated action there on the NASDAQ. So depends on what kind of volatility you're expecting, what kind of volatility you're wanting, what kind of volatility you're able to effectively, repeatedly enter. What kind of internet connection are you on? You know, what kind of internet are you on? Are you hardwired keyboard, hardwired mouse? Do you have the correct technology? Your computers, your RAM. I mean, there's a lot of things to factor in. Whereas if you're sizing properly on the ES, you run less chance of dynamic, reflective price movements. And if I was to have a control, it would show how quick that it's changing up to a certain percentile. Let's say you put 0.25%, 0.1%, or something like this, and then just compare instruments for the rate. I know there is a rate of change indicator. Not quite what I'm looking for. I'm looking like a correlative price indicative correlation derivative somehow, where you would then pipe them out and then reflect your proper sizing, chances of success, and size based upon some defined criteria. It would just automatically size you based upon those market conditions. So you'll have a more reflective tone and positive yet repeatable experience when you are looking at some of the different instruments. But without having that data available, the E-mini definitely tends to favor more productive, more successful trades, but the trade duration may be of longer nature. So you can get away from as much as the crazy scalps due to more elongated, reasonable, and reflective moves. You also would be able to